Hello everyone and welcome back to Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror. Once again, I'm Pete.
And I'm Viv.
When we had left, we had just had a pretty massive revelation in the police station that the gentleman we saw at the map was Professor Ubier, who we were supposed to meet back in Paris, and is now here somewhere in Quaramonte, so we should probably have a look around and see if we can find him. Oh look, there he is.
It was that suspect archaeologist Ubier.
That's convenient.
Professor Ubier?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart.
Right. Well, shall we ask about himself?
Yeah.
What are you doing in Caramonte, Professor?
Seeking Mayan artifacts. Central American history has been my life's work.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, folks. The cat's acting up again. Should we broach the subject of what happened with Nico?
Yeah.
What do you know about my girlfriend's abduction?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion in Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
Oh, the wife.
The plot thickens. You're talking about the wife?
Yeah.
Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please, I don't want to talk about her.
No, you must talk to
Yeah.
her.
So we can either continue just asking about her or make a pretty big accusation.
Talk first about her, I think.
This is one of those either-or decisions, so we can either broach the subject or accuse him of killing his wife.
I feel you might shut down all conversation if you accuse, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
The light approach?
I think that might be the better way,
go
but
for
I
it.
don't know. I don't know for sure.
Right, let's go for the light approach.
Maybe you don't, but I do. Why was she known as the Little Dachshund?
It was just a silly pet name I used to call her. Somehow some damned reporter found out.
Simple as that, eh? Right. We'll talk about the big fella who was in charge at the mansion.
Yeah.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
Controversial.
Yeah. Right. Does he know about Karzak, perhaps?
Maybe.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Yes, I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Kazakh, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
Oh,
Interesting.
a shipping label.
Do you see this label?
Yes, it refers to a company named Condor. What of it?
I traced that company here to Quaramonte. Do you know where I can find the offices of Condor Transglobal?
The company no longer exists. They went bankrupt recently.
Well, we got that much from Dwayne, but what else does he know?
I have proof that you are directly involved with Condor.
I used them as shippers to transport artifacts to a gallery in Paris. Beyond that, I have no connection with the company, which, as I said, no longer exists.
Fair enough, then. Hey, Professor, is this your bank statement?
Take a look at this, Professor. What have you got to say about that?
Where did you get this?
Never mind that. How do you explain these withdrawals,
I left my financial affairs in the hands of my secretary.
including the withdrawal of funds in cash from your personal account?
I trust Gwyneth implicitly.
And why Marseille? Why the very place my girlfriend was taken?
That's obvious, Stobart. We are both the victims of the same devious plot.
What plot?
I have no idea.
It's a plot, whatever it is. Right. Does he know about the eclipse, perhaps? Oh, actually, we should probably ask him about the stone, since that was what started this whole thing off in the first place.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
Where did you get that?
That's my business.
How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale.
Oh,
Well, we know he's intrigued. Right, what about the eclipse?
yeah.
Do you know anything about this eclipse, Professor?
Of course. It's not the reason I'm here in Quaramonte, but I'm looking forward to seeing it all the same.
Shall we ask about the eclipse then, further?
Yeah, sure.
What's your interest in the eclipse, Professor?
Oh, it's purely a layman's curiosity. History's my subject, not astronomy. But I've been fascinated by the movements of the heavenly bodies since I was a child. I wouldn't miss a total eclipse for the world.
He certainly sounds
Still there,
interested.
yeah.
Does the eclipse have some special significance for you?
From me? No. For the ancient Mayans, it marked the end of the Fifth Age.
Perhaps we should be celebrating.
Ah, no. The end of each age heralds destruction on a global scale. The fifth is the final age, ending in the total destruction of the Earth.
Oh,
And speaking of destruction, what about this god of death that we've got?
yes.
Can you identify this statue, Professor?
Oh yes. Tezcatlipoca, the Lord of Darkness,
A Central American god, right?
a supreme deity. Tezcatlipoca means literally smoking mirror.
There's the title.
There.
Yeah.
You see the mirror shield in his left hand? The Mayans believed he could look into the mirror and see into the hearts of men. He was the wind which came howling in the night in search of victims, and victims they gave him by the thousand.
Human sacrifices?
Men, women, children, animals, anything that bled. The steps of his temple ran red with the blood of sacrifices. The Mayans have a legend that says he'll return one day. I hope I'm not around to see it.
I'm sure that has nothing to do with the eclipse.
Nothing at all.
You know what, the professor's been helpful. Let's offer him a biscuit.
Would you like a biscuit?
No, thank you.
You should, they're good.
Josh is
I
so
can't get enough of these things.
Talking with your mouth full, George, honestly, where were you brought up? So now we have had a word with Professor UVA. Let's see if we can have anything more from Dwayne. Oh yeah, now we can talk about the General.
Do you think the general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Quaramonte.
And who is that, pray tell?
So the general is nothing but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
And just another nice little touch in the conversation system in this game. If we waited until UBA came over before we spoke to Dwayne, then if we ask about why he's here, he's kind of evasive about the subject. And then after UBA goes away, if we ask him again, he explains that he can't talk while UBA is standing there listening to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bit of developer's foresight there.
Yeah.
What are we doing next? Oh yes, I think we have to help Pearl arrange a little tour.
Okay.
And then that's how we get rid of Ronaldo.
Have you met the guy who calls himself the general?
No, I haven't. Is he a real general?
I guess so. He wears a lot of medals on his chest. The wrong side of his chest. At least for any army I'd ever seen.
Well, fair enough then.
I hear you drove all the way to Quaramonte. In a truck.
That's right. You would not believe the state of some of those roads. Makes me downright sad to think there's still some places you can't reach in an automobile. In this day and age, you'd think there'd be decent highways just about anywhere folk choose to go.
Did you know that the truck was full of explosives?
Whatever gave you that idea, as if I couldn't guess?
Your husband. He was exaggerating, wasn't he?
Sometimes I wonder how I'm gonna cope with Dwayne's over-fertile imagination.
Catch you later, Pearl.
Ah, God love him. Right, I think we have to go back up and have another word with Conchita over here. And we can just warp straight there now, isn't it wonderful? Yeah, now we can talk about the professor.
Do you know Professor Ubier?
Yes. I understand he is about to embark on an archaeological expedition. He hired some equipment from me earlier today.
I overheard him talking to the general. I think they're working together.
What? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have hired out the equipment. Now, why would the general be interested in an archaeologist?
A pressing question.
Can you tell me about the accident at the mine?
Accident? It was sabotage. Somebody wanted my mine closed down for good.
Go on.
Do you have any evidence that the mine was sabotaged?
Not yet, but I'll get to the bottom of it. There'd been trouble at that mine for several months. The workforce was getting smaller every day. Someone had started a rumor among the men that the mine was cursed. Now the entire operation has been closed down.
And there's more.
Where's the site of the mine?
Several days upriver at a remote area known as Teoculcan.
Okay, remember that. Upward bound. Okay, so how do we think we distract the General and Ronaldo?
The goat. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, just barge in and say, "Hey, there's a talking goat out here." Yeah, that should work, but alas, no.
It just gets disappointing sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Any other ideas?
Chuck a bit of fruit in.
Again, I can see where your logic is,
Coal?
but no, afraid not.
Oh, go on then.
I don't know if we have it yet, but he seemed to be infatuated, shall we say, with Nico.
Oh.
Yes, we're going to use our girlfriend as bait, because that's the caring, sharing kind of guy we are.
Such a nice bloke, George.
There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time.
Not just yet. First off, we just have to set up a flag that gets UVA to walk away from the van. We've talked about everything we can for now, so hopefully we should be able to talk to Dwayne some more now. And there he is going.
Is Miguel the reason you're here?
Pretty smart, George. I was supposed to make contact with him. By the time I found him, though, he was in jail. I've been trying to figure out a way to get him out since then.
Sounds good to me. Count me in.
Good man, George. All I need is a detonator.
A detonator, you say?
How come you brought a truckload of explosives but no detonator?
Call me old-fashioned, but I say packing trunks is woman's work. I left the packing to Pearl, and I can't find a darn thing. Just hope she remembered to bring my denture polish. I'd sure hate to arrive back in the States with tar on my teeth.
Okay, so now
What's he going to be eating?
possibly the side of a wall when he blows the thing up. But anyway, okay, so we now know that we need a detonator,
Yeah.
and we know that the cupboard back in Conchita's office contained the explosives.
Ah.
So we find a way to curry favor with her.
Did you find any evidence of Condor's drug smuggling operations?
Drugs? Hell no! Condor was a cover for the illegal export of Mayan artifacts.
They're being looked after by top men.
Yeah, okay.
Top men.
Top ones.
So who was behind Condor Transglobal?
It was registered in the name of Edan.
Did you get the guy?
I don't think he ever existed. Edan backwards spells Nady, Spanish for nobody.
Ooh.
Plot thickens.
So now, I think if we speak to Nico again, we should have the option. Look, she's talking to the goat again.
French woman marries goat.
Now, we established much later on in the series that Nico seems to get on with goats much better than George does, so I wouldn't rule it out.
There was nothing else I wanted to talk to Nico about at that time.
I'm
Bring
sorry,
on the
but-
fan art.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I get my coat.
Ah, here we go.
Do you have any kind of detonating device in stock?
Sure. They're kept in that cupboard.
I don't suppose you have one spare.
I can't simply give you a device like that, no without a damn good reason.
The General has a chart in his office, which he was discussing with Ubier.
Perhaps that chart will tell us where they're heading.
Maybe, but I can't get anywhere near it while the General and his sidekick are there.
So there we go. We have to get rid of them. So this time, I think, and this time, George, if you could let us know whether or not you're ready to talk to Nico before you go to the trouble of walking over to her. Here we go.
Could you distract the general while I took a look at that chart?
You're kidding. Did you see the way he was leering at me?
Yeah. You'd make a great snake charmer.
Phrasing.
Come on. 5 minutes is all I need.
Well, maybe. But it's your harebrained scheme. You do the talking.
Are you not coming, Nico? Oh, there she goes. Okay then, let's put the plan into action. No. Well, first let's try just asking directly, why not?
Do you have a map of Quaramonte?
A map? I'm sorry, senor, but I don't.
What about the one on the wall?
Ah, that is an archaeological survey map, senor. Not suitable for tourists.
Very well then. Right, let's enact the plan.
My girlfriend has a favor she wants to ask you, General.
For you, my dear, anything.
I've changed my mind.
Oh, no, you haven't. She's embarrassed about asking you for an interview, General.
An interview with me? Fabuloso!
Well, I want to write a story about you.
You hear that, Ronaldo? An exclusive glossy spread about your beloved general.
Si, Signor General.
Look after things here. I'm going back to my apartment and I don't want to be disturbed.
I'll get you for this, George Stobart.
Don't worry. If you're gone for more than a couple of hours, I'll come and get you.
A couple of hours?
What have we done?
Yeah.
Right, so now there's only one guy to get rid of.
Would you take my friend to the ruins now the General's gone?
I'd be honored, Signor.
Thanks. I'll go get her.
Well, that was easy. We can try looking at the chart, but Ronaldo's still pretty on it.
No, 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 Signor. The General said nobody must see that chart.
He won't know unless you tell him.
You don't know him, Signor. He will worm it out of me as easily as he de-waxes his ear.
Okay. I'd have to get rid of him.
Okay, let's let Pearl deal with it.
Do you know where I could buy a
But
detonator?
first,
Did Dwayne put you up to this by any chance? Oh, I get it. This is to detonate the truckload of explosives, right?
Hey, come on, I was kidding. Did you think I was serious?
I know what you boys are like when you get together and make plans. Dwayne says he could solve all the world's problems if he had enough missiles.
yeah, I'm not touching that one.
I've made the arrangements for your visit to the temple, Pearl.
Oh, that's just great, George. Why don't you come too, honey?
I'd love to, but right now I have to save the world.
Listen, sweetie. I'm looking for an official guide to take me to the old pyramid.
For a lovely lady, I would go to the ends of the earth. For you, I will go as far as the pyramid and back. But what about your husband?
What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Let's go, Beanpole.
As Pearl and Ronaldo set out for the ruined pyramid, I prepared to search the police station.
There we go. One completely abandoned police station.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
serious about law enforcement in Quaramonte.
So serious.
It looked like a geological survey map showing the land to the southeast of Quaramonte City. About 60 miles inland and upstream was an area marked Teoculcan.
Does that sound familiar?
Same as the wee statue.
No, that's Tezcatlipoca.
Oh, I don't know.
We have heard Teoculcan mentioned,
Yeah, I
though.
thought we had.
Was the sign out of the mining accident, if memory serves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was Miguel, the musician.
Oh, that's ominous.
It was a length of rope, knotted in a hangman's noose. I'm George Stobart. You're Miguel the musician, aren't you?
Ex-musician, senor. My career is finished.
Going to jail could be the boost your career needed.
Senor, I would rather die than live with this shame.
Let's see what he knows about Karzak.
Have you heard of a guy called Karzak?
Yes. The old man spoke of him.
The foreigner? Professor Ubier?
That's right. This man Karzak is Ubier's boss.
So now we have a solid lead at last. And, yeah, that noose.
Why is that noose hanging from the bars?
Ronaldo strung it up for me to hang myself. Don't cry for me, Senor Stobart. When I am dead, the goddess will take my soul to rest in paradise.
That's pretty slimy behavior. Can't even be bothered executing him properly.
Yeah.
Expect Ronaldo to do it himself.
The doorway led back to the outer office.
But anyway, now we have some information that Conchita might be interested in.
I got a good look at that chart in the police station. It's a map of Quaramonte.
Does it tell us where Ubier is heading?
Yeah, a place called Teoculcan.
That's the site of the mine. I wonder why they're being so secretive about Ubier's plans. One thing's for sure. If the general's involved, they're up to no good. I'd like to talk to that musician Miguel. Take the detonator and get him out of that jail.
Okay, we have permission.
It's brush up.
Yep. The name of the game. So to answer your question, that's where he stores everything.
Okay.
It was the detonator I'd taken from the mining company's office.
Whatever you say.
Is that a detonator in your pocket, or...
You'd have thought when the cops left, they'd have like noticed this truck parked to the side of the building, which looks a bit suspicious.
Like right next to Miguel's cell, no less?
Yeah. I mean, they're not great, are they?
Here is the detonator, Dwayne.
Keep your voice down, George. You want everyone to know. You'd best go and warn Miguel that the U.S. cavalry's on the way.
Okay.
Okay, let's go and let Miguel know. Didn't spot that last time.
Someone had thoughtfully provided little shades for the light bulbs.
wasn't that
The rest of
nice?
the prison area looked like an English public toilet. I couldn't reach the light.
Fair enough then. Right, let's give Miguel the good news.
Hey, Miguel!
What is it? What is happening?
We're getting out of here.
Who's we? They've sent the Delta Force?
Nope.
The Impossible Missions Force?
Don't make me sick. Much better.
Who then?
A retired greetings card salesman from Ohio.
I'm doomed.
You're not the only one.
I should have known you'd be trouble the moment I saw you.
Look, I can explain everything.
Take a shot.
Get in that cell, now.
And what if I refuse?
He'll shoot you.
Okay, here I am, going quietly into the cell.
I mean, he made a pretty good round trip for that Mayan pyramid, didn't he?
Yeah.
Very wise, not Americano scum.
One of the reasons I hate guns so much is the way they make people so damned impolite.
I hope you're enjoying your vacation, Senor Stobart.
Go polish your weapon, Ronaldo.
This was part of your plan, right?
Well, in a manner of speaking, no. I was all out of ideas. It was up to Nico now.
I think it's going well.
So, here we are.
You've changed.
I thought I would slip into something more comfortable.
The stench of cheap cologne rolled over me like tear gas.
So, what do you want to know about me? Ask and I will answer. I will deny you nothing. I am a very giving person.
How nice for your friends.
Your eyes are glittering like stars.
His damn cologne was making my eyes water.
So you probably noticed we were hearing Nico's internal monologue this time around.
Yeah.
I was running out of sofa.
As spirited as you are beautiful, I admire that.
As long as he admired it from afar.
So yeah, this introduces another pretty big first for the series. We're now playing as Nico.
Yeah.
It was General Graciento in full-on lounge lizard mode.
Yeah. So after sitting out sadly most of the first game, she's now pretty much the secondary protagonist for the
A
rest of the
lava
series.
lamp. Hip in a retro way. I had no doubt the General thought it was hip, full stop. A tiger skin lay on the floor. It was a portrait of some thug in a uniform. Cutting-edge technology in 1978, at any rate. A stuffed swordfish.
That's always the password.
The door represented the escape route.
Come on, let's go, let's go.
I had to keep him talking. But what about? We had nothing in common.
Right. Can we escape this way, perhaps?
Jump out the window. Steal a boat.
The bastard's watching us.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice view, isn't it? Right, back to the journal. Well, sooner or later we're going to have to talk to him. Oh. Right, what should we talk about? We have the lava lamp, the portrait up there, the swordfish over the door, the TV, or the tiger skin rug.
Go with the portrait first.
Who's the guy with the hat and the fat cigar?
My mother.
Okay, moving on.
Right.
So what's next then?
Tiger skin like.
That tiger skin. You didn't kill it yourself, did you?
Alas, no. I had to import a synthetic one from the United States. It is very comfortable to lie on naked.
Ew.
Too much information, man.
Unfortunately,
You're too
I'm
much
allergic to
information,
man-made fibers.
Right, what is next?
The fish.
Big fish. Catch it yourself?
Catch it. Fishing poles are for children.
Then how did... Are those bullet holes?
2 magazines on full automatic. It put up quite a fight.
More DACA.
It's mental.
So we now have a lava lamp and a television.
Go on for the telly.
Both apparently from the 70s.
Yeah.
I, love your TV.
Oh, yeah. Cool, no?
No.
Oh boy, female mud wrestling.
Hello.
Mom, what is going on here?
Nothing, Mom. I was...
I'm in uniform. And when I'm in uniform, it's...
Madame la Presidente, sorry, Madame la Presidenta.
Now, what is going on here?
Nothing, Madame la Presidenta. I was just showing my friend Nico some of the cool stuff I've got.
Hi.
Good afternoon, señorita. And just what are your intentions toward my son?
Intentions? We were just talking.
How nice. She has good bone structure, Raoul. Has she any brains?
She's a reporter.
Is she? And what sort of questions has she been asking?
I'm a freelance photojournalist. I do lifestyle features.
For what sort of magazines?
It looked safest to play down with good bone structure. Haya, lifestyle of the super rich and vainglorious, Envy magazine.
Excellent. Raoul, you've chosen well for a change.
It was pretty obvious who pulled the strings around here. I hoped George was making good use of the time I was buying him.
And then he goes, pa 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 pa.
And when you were in this band of yours, you used to play that song for 2 hours?
Yeah, we were really famous at our college. Still, ours wasn't as good as the original version.
I have never heard that song before, yet I have no doubt that this must be true.
Hey! Psst. Hey, George!
Dwayne Henderson. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. Get to the American consul and tell him I've been imprisoned without charge.
Get real, George. He was the previous occupant of that cell you're in. We're gonna have to use good old American know-how to get you out of there.
Uh-oh.
That, and this truck full of explosives I've got here.
What's the difference?
Dwayne, listen to me. You'll kill all of us.
You're such a naysayer, George. It'll go like clockwork. Negative to negative, it's positive to you gotta get the bare copper wire here. Let me just, damn. All right, I'll just hook that up. All right, there we go. Okay, just a minute. I've got to get to a safe distance.
Quick, Miguel, hit the mattress.
You have strange customs up north.
Here we go.
Too late.
Oh,
That sounded pleasant.
yeah. What happened?
Are we dead yet?
Horse shit.
What happened to the explosives?
There ain't no explosives. My dumbass supplier must have given me organic fertilizer instead of chemical. All I got here is 400 pounds of lightly fried horse apples.
That's a lovely image, Dwayne. Never mind, I'll think of something.
Seriously, mining company.
Yep. Okay, so we're trapped in a cell with no way out. How do we get out? They didn't even bother nicking all of our stuff.
Oh, what have we got? Which we might be able to use. Oh, the
That door
pick.
looked pretty sturdy to me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there's a lock here.
It was the lock which held the door fastened. I didn't have the key to the lock.
Can we pick the lock this time?
I mean,
Nope, alas no.
no. Okay.
Solid bars protected the small window. I wasn't getting out that way. I couldn't escape that way.
Well, not with that attitude. Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's not something we currently have in our possession, so they may as well have taken everything away.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, just give away the solution, why don't you, game?
Listen to me, Miguel. You give me that rope and I'll get us out of here. Is there somewhere you can hide from the General?
Of course. My friends have a boat ready to take me upriver. But how are you going to break out of here with just a short piece of rope?
I'm not sure, but I'll think of something.
Have you figured it out yet, viewers?
Are they going to get, what's his name?
Dwayne?
To pull the bar.
If your plan doesn't work,
windows on.
will you let me hang myself in peace?
Yeah,
Yep,
sure.
the old Western trick.
He doesn't have a horse, but I'm pretty sure it will.
It was the piece of rope which Ronaldo had given to Miguel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did this on Mythbusters and determined that it wasn't possible, but you know what? Never let little things like science or logic get in the way of a good game. And oh look, Dwayne's conveniently showed back up.
Dwayne was waiting expectantly. I had nothing else to ask him.
Yes, he did. Where's it? Ah, there it is. Nope.
Dwayne was waiting
There, that's
The
what I'm
rope
looking
was
for.
securely tied to one of the bars.
Hey, Dwayne, I want you to tie this rope to your truck and then drive forward.
I'd had no idea whether this was really going to work, but I'd seen it in a black and white Western. Of course, Hopalong was using a horse and Dwayne had a 4-ton truck, but hey, the principle's sound.
Anything you say, George.
Please forgive my mother. She can be a little difficult.
Oh, my feet, Raoul. Propose, you idiot.
Don't mind her. She just wants grandchildren.
Don't think I can't hear you, Raoul. I want the worthy successor, and you're not it. Propose now, or I'll do it for you.
Look, Nico, we haven't known each other very long, but...
the hell was that?
I didn't know what was going on, but Georges had to be involved in it somewhere.
Well, yeah, there's an explosion. Yep, it's George again.
What's this, George?
And Pearl's back as well, look.
That was a really
I ain't
quick
gonna
trip.
say a thing, 'cause that sweet sound of falling masonry says it all.
Presumably she came back with
Quick,
Ronaldo.
senor, the river.
Huh? Wait, what about Nico?
Yeah, Nico moved pretty quick and all.
Georges, what have you done? You only had to sneak a look at the chart, and it's turned into World War III.
No time to explain. Come on.
Speaking of Ronaldo,
Don't move, terrorist scum.
You talking to me, Junior?
Yes, I'm talking to you, fat man. And my name's not Junior.
A word to the wise, Junior. You carry on waving that pea shooter in my face, and the next person who sees it is gonna be your proctologist. Savvy?
Get it up. I am happy to report that I have apprehended the terrorist. You idiot, not them. The other American and the French woman. They're the ones.
there we go. We've made good our escape into the sunset. What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
You have 20 seconds to comply.
We did.
So, not only a shoot first policy, but a drop a bomb first
When I
policy.
recovered consciousness, I was alone, washed up on the riverbank. My head was aching fiercely, and my mouth tasted like a swamp. At first, I thought the music I heard was in my head. Just my luck to wind up in paradise with a migraine. But I followed the sound and discovered a treehouse in a nearby clearing.
Yep, that's right. We apparently stumbled into Robinson Crusoe. Okay, so this game is spread across 2 discs, but we don't have to swap in this because we're playing the Scum VM version. That was originally where the first disc ended, just on the boat explosion. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good point as any to finish for now. So with half the game roughly over, we'll pick it up next time and find out who's living in the treehouse and what happened to Nico. So join us then. Until then, say goodnight, Viv.
Good night, Liv.
Good night, everybody.